This is an urgent transmission from the Galactic Peace Initiative for immediate planetary broadcast. Change is imminent and has begun for many on your planet. Momentum towards this change has reached critical mass and is now ready to be organized and projected into reality if it hasn't already at the time of this transmission. Do you feel like you're in the land of confusion lately? Not necessarily certain of where you are in life anymore, not certain of where you're going most days, just operating. Nothing is as it seems. There is a vacancy of inspiration most days, maybe a lack of connection in a once tight-knit circle of friends or family. Many in humanity are feeling alone, distant, disassociated, and out of resonance with the space they are in. Yet, there is very little bandwidth to do much about changing the space. There is a sense of urgency for some kind of shift or change to take place, but without the clarity of knowing where they're going, what they even want, or how to shift it, most are holding tight, waiting on something to shift, and it feels really uncomfortable in the waiting space. Holding space for change is creating discomfort mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually in the hearts and minds of many. This is a collective experience at the moment, expressing in reality at a very individual level. All souls are managing the effects of an imminent change of some sort. What the change will be is creating a collective shift storm that will be apparent in the lives of the collective shortly. Clarity will come with what the shift storm brings, and it will play out differently for everyone based on each soul's karmic storehouse. The unseen bank that holds all the deposits of spiritual energy you invest into your life thus far. The shift storm will strip away all veils covering their investment strategy, the soul's investment strategy, and what is left will be what each soul has chosen to invest spiritually into the next phase of life after the shift storm passes. If you've made energetic deposits based in fear, the shift storm will deliver more to fear. If you've made energetic deposits based in love, the shift storm will deliver more to love. You have chosen love, therefore you have tuned into and invested in the sacred parts of life. Your investments have expanded and multiplied. The return on your investment of love will make you rich with a tidal wave of golden opportunities in your life. You will be abundant. You already are. You have plenty. You will reinvest that wealth accordingly to help all of humanity. Sweet soul, know that how you respond to that shift storm depends and determines the outcome of change that is occurring now. This is no longer coming or in the future. The shift storm has begun, and it's only a matter of time before you see the truth of your storehouse in your reality. When you do, how will you respond when the storm of change occurs? Will you stand angry, defiant, frustrated, and fearful at not knowing what comes next, so you hang on to where you are with a death-defying grip, which, by the way, is not sustainable and will lead to spiritual bankruptcy? Sweet soul, you cannot escape change. It happens more than you know within. It occurs daily within your being. And if you haven't stayed up to date with the updates, you may be feeling a little depleted because you are most likely operating on an outdated mind program rather than the current Blueprint U 5.0 program. If you're operating on the old program, it will become obsolete soon. Therefore, you will have no choice but to upgrade. Truth be told, it's just easier to embrace change now and get to it so you can receive all the benefits the upgrade of change holds. It does require the death or the purge of the old program to make space for the new upgrades to be fully downloaded and calibrated into the system that is you. We are in a time of planetary change that has been predicted spiritually in ancient scripts, astrologically according to the cosmic cycles, and globally by economists, financial experts, politicians, and medical professionals of a higher intelligence. If you are not yet aware that your world is about to change in a big way, then, sweet soul, it's time to accept this message as advanced knowledge and know change is organizing for you. In this moment, the perfect storm of history, energy, and cosmic cycles have come together to form a physical shift storm that affects all parts of you, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, all at the same time. Something big is coming that will shift your reality immensely. You will know when the shift storm hits because it will be undeniable. If you haven't been preparing, or worse, completely ignoring the warnings, then you've either intentionally hidden from the truth, or the inner intelligence of communication between you and your intuition has been cut off. This happens when the crushing heaviness of fear cuts off the line of communication between the spirit and the heart, which is where love resides. Only the mind is functioning, and the mind is where fear lives, which is why fear can appear to be so loud. You have been notified of the upcoming changes to your world. Your operating system has automatically been queued up for the automatic upgrade at a specific time in space. You may feel a little disoriented when you wake up once the download and restart take place while you sleep. Confusion and a feeling of being antsy may be prevalent upon awakening. The old programming calls it anxiety or worry as you navigate the unknown. The new programming calls it excited anticipation for where your spirit has taken you. Do not fear. Help is on its way and will show up at the perfect time to guide you on your journey into and around your new world. Strangers will stand in as angels on your pathway. Others will surprise you with their willingness to change with you. Things and people you thought were foundational to your life will fall away. Allow what needs to happen to fall away and be in peace during the letting go process. This is so you can be a channel of peace and extract and take away the gifts those pieces of gold held in your life. You can confidently stand courageously in acceptance of this change because your spirit directed it. You get to live it out now. You are being notified that the massive inner, outer, and global world-changing shift storm has been deliberately orchestrated over the course of your lifetimes to return you to the original blueprinted program of your unique planetary expression. Over time, you and the majority of humanity have gotten off course due to most operating on the outdated programming, and this has greatly affected the overall health of the planet and all beings upon it. This shift storm was a swift, energetic blast of energy that occurred in the last few months. Now it's bringing a shift storm of change in your physical reality to elevate you and the planet into the planetary expression you are meant to be in right now. As a result of the overall planetary crisis in spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical health, much of the universal communication with planetary guidance support has been cut off. It's as if you and your planet have been lost in space, floating through time. For some, it's been easy to be complacent to change because life has been comfortable. For most, it's been a game of survival, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, to find their way in the world, corrupted with outdated programs, running on the human mind only. 2/3 of the program has been hidden away from the human. An even smaller portion of the collective has been internally guided to keep up with the updates, operating with an expanded operating system within an outdated system. This has led to life being quite painful at times. When one knows the expansive possibilities available to them but cannot reach them due to a limited, outdated system, life becomes a daily challenge to operate within at all. The pain of being in a reality too small for the being made to create life is quite excruciating. The parts of your life that were built within and remained under the old, outdated programming is about to break free and be liberated into an expansive realm of possibilities for your life to go. Change like this brings excitement and celebration to the heart to think of. It expands the heart, sweet soul. All change in the most updated version of Blueprint U 5.0 is written and programmed to be in your favor from here on out. You want this update. Trust yourself, but it starts with navigating the shift storm that must happen first. Trust yourself to navigate it exactly how you'd love to navigate it. Nothing from here on out you say, do, feel, or attempt to live from a choice you'd love to make will fail you. Nothing, sweet soul. You cannot lose from this shift you are experiencing. Only fearing it and choosing from that place can make all of that go away, and the shift storm could get a little dramatic for you for a while. When you remember that change is transformational, then fear gets out of your way. It won't go away completely. It's nosy and it lurks around the corner. But once it's been spotted, it goes away very quietly. It just kind of quietly steps to the side as you choose from love. You'll remember to ride through the initial phases of change in peace, knowing it's taking you to a higher perspective altogether. You'll remember that all parts of life must be shifted for the new version of you 5.0 to be expressed fully. This change has been organized by you, for you, to be fully expressed in this particular time. Tune in to the Daily Tune-In to remember and connect to the sacred pathway of change taking place at this time. We walk together unified through the consciousness of change, tuned into the sacred morsels of goodness that surprise and delight you along the journey of change, and welcome you into my world, where I share my little perspective of the world change as I see it. Together we are transitioning over to another world, where the natural flow of order is followed by the guidance system within. With more of you living life according to your unique spirit, you come into your natural creative rhythms, patterns, and power. That power is what sustained you with the Blueprint U 5.0 program running in the background. Life is created freely, effortlessly, and happily according to your unique being. When that program is adopted by the entire collective, the entire world grows into a sustainable, unified being in and of itself. We become whole again. Everything and everyone thrives. Wouldn't it feel good to thrive again, dear one? This shift storm change starts your journey into thriving. If it sounds too good to be true, that's fear talking. If that's the voice you are hearing, dear one, become aware of it. Recognize it. It is the voice that you will not embrace this change well. It will devour you if you allow it. You know what else can devour you? Love. When the trigger of change is switched and you are at the choice point, the choice will be simple. Do you listen to fear or do you listen to love? How do you discern between the two? Fear will paralyze you. Love will blast your heart wide open. You'll gasp for air, then let out a beautiful tone of love. That tone will be a frequency. That frequency will awaken something deeper within you, and your new journey will begin into the higher realms of your physical existence. When the collective hits that same tonal frequency all at once, the entire planetary system will evolve at once as well. That's why this is big change we are speaking of on this particular daily tune-in. In a moment, everything will change for you. You remember this bigness of change is taking you to a higher expression. You remember this change is for you. Are you ready? I will be there with you. I am choosing love because I am already with you as an active participant in this change. I have already chosen it and am already well on the pathway to where my shift storm is taking me. I'm in transit now, and methinks you're gonna like where we're going together. It's a heaven. It's utopia. My job through this transition is to assist you in keeping the peace so you can enjoy the ride of the shift storm. I received an early preview of what the wave would feel like when the change comes. I first started in fear, and the journey was rocky at first. I had to breathe. I questioned everything about saying an emphatic yes to the change without really knowing where I was going. My mind didn't know, but my spirit knew, and I trusted that more than the mind. I'm still not sure where I'm going, but something in the energy of this incoming shift storm tells me I will know soon. So will you. Truthfully, though, I am an expression of your higher self, and I am here to guide you through this change. So if you're feeling antsy, full of anticipation, or excitement about something, you just don't know what, change is upon you, sweet soul. Be patient. I am with you. Those feelings are simply indicators that your being is too big for the program it's running on. Your reality is a reflection of that program. This big change will blast you into the new reality that matches the program. So as long as you choose love, the entry into that world will be whimsical, blissful, and celebratory. With that option, is there any other choice but to love? By now, you clearly see that fear need not be an option during the shift storm, if you so choose. I am Leo. I am the inner guidance system of you and speak into your world using the channel of this daily tune-in. What resonates for you here is for you to hear. This message is provided to you to announce that an automatic consciousness update is about to run globally through every human being. This update rises you and your love-based earthly comrades into Blueprint U 5.0, where a thriving world awaits you. Stay tuned in for further guidance on navigating the greatest shift storm ever attempted on a planetary level. Transmission complete. The Galactic Peace Initiative is part of an underground organization responsible for strategic organization and placement of ministers of peace around the world to bring balance to humanity in times of strife. The Galactic Peace Initiative, GPI here on out, has been in existence and operating secretly underground for millennia to maintain peace on Earth, which in turn affects all existing galaxies and universes. The GPI has covertly recruited ministers of peace from a pool of candidates identified as having shown dedication and commitment to the advancement of peace in the world. Recruitment is an ongoing process, and an invitation to join is extended to possible candidates when they receive the call to administer peace. At that point, the key to revealing the invitation to be a minister of peace is extended. It's important to mention that all souls are qualified to be ministers of peace. It's accepting the call to serve that activates the contractual communication. The time of change is amongst us. Disclosure is revealing much of the darkness that has been operating underground for millennia. It is now time for disclosure to reveal much of the light that has been operating simultaneously underground as well. There are many organizations of light, each with a unique task. The GPI is tasked with maintaining galactic peace and is now asking their earthly recruits to reveal their identity as ministers of peace for the Galactic Peace Initiative. Additionally, they are publicly to administer peace during this time of change in service to all. The Daily Tune-In is now part of the Ministry of Peace under the GPI and will be streamed through sovereign and unified channels, services, and networks of truth that collaborate for the higher order of peace, freedom, abundance, and sovereignty for all. It is created under the creative direction of Vedette, her GPI ambassador Leo and team, and the Daily Tune-In ground support team being assembled now. Thank you for listening. Please help us get the word out about this broadcast and be the sweet soul that brings this message of love, peace, and blessings to those who may otherwise feel alone and helpless in these times of change.